It's the greatest Cézanne collection in the world. It's the greatest Renoir collection in the world. It's one of the great Matisse collections in the world.
And there's Van Gogh, Seurat, Picasso, Modigliani, and many other major artists. Incredibly beautiful and important works, like Cézanne's masterpiece, The Card Players. How much do you think this would be worth?
My lips are sealed.
Though Barnes Foundation director Derek Gilman is hesitant to put a number on it, the collection has been valued at more than $25 billion. So its move into a gleaming new $150 million building in downtown Philadelphia should be cause for universal celebration. Instead, it is a move mired in controversy, going back to the man who amassed the collection beginning at the turn of the 20th century, Philadelphia doctor Albert Barnes. Brilliant and eccentric, he made a fortune in pharmaceuticals and started buying what was then considered modern art. It was not well received when he showed it in Philadelphia in 1923, according to veteran civil rights activist Julian Bond, whose family had close ties to Barnes.
The reviewers just poo-pooed it, and the art establishment in Philadelphia poo-pooed this kind of art. And he just developed this enmity against them. Plus, he was an onerous kind of person. He didn't suffer fools well.
So Barnes erected a building to house the art next door to his home in Marion, just outside of Philadelphia. The Barnes Foundation was rarely open to the general public. He said its main purpose was to conduct classes in art appreciation.
In the Foundation's courses, art is taken out of its usually detached, esoteric world and is linked up with life itself.
Barnes made very specific provisions for what would happen to the collection after his death, giving Lincoln University, the historically black college where Julian Bond's father Horace was then president, the power to nominate most of the trustees to run the foundation.
I think it was partly because Barnes wanted to put his finger in the eye of people in Philadelphia. Take that. I'm going to put these black people in charge of it. See how you like that.
Barnes died in a car crash in 1951, leaving about $10 million to support the foundation. But by the 1990s, the institution was going broke, and thus began a series of legal battles, including one waged by the foundation trustees, who wanted to raise money by sending the art on tour in violation of Barnes's wishes, as Sunday Morning reported in 1993.
They claimed the building was deteriorating. The paintings were in danger. The court agreed and the will was broken.
There were battles with neighbors in Marion, too, over traffic congestion when the Barnes allowed more visitors. And there started to be talk of moving the collection to Philadelphia. To Derek Gilman, a supporter of the move, it was simply a case of a small, insular institution not being able to attract major funding.
It was this very strong sense of we'll put our arms around ourselves and stay hugging ourselves. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work philanthropically.
But a 2009 documentary called The Art of the Steal claims that Philadelphia political and philanthropic leaders had long plotted to get control of the Priceless collection.
Everybody involved in this had their own interests. The only person whose interest had no champion was Albert Barnes. Everyone had abandoned him.
10 years ago, Lincoln University ceded control of the foundation's board, thus allowing the move to go forward.
They let Philadelphia money, Philadelphia politics, squeeze them out of it.
Okay, lifting.
So, love the idea or hate it, the collection was finally moved just weeks ago, including this enormous mural custom painted by Matisse to fit the alcoves above the windows at the original Barnes.
We actually measured the painting, carried the measurements over and built the ceiling around it.
In fact, the galleries Barnes built are replicated exactly in the new space, with the artworks displayed just as Barnes arranged them. And here you have this Van Gogh over in the corner. Why is it here amidst all of this?
Barnes created these installations, very distinctive wall compositions called ensembles. He's creating harmonies among the works.
Chief Curator Judith Dolkart says Barnes deliberately intermingled his collection of pottery and Pennsylvania Dutch chests with the paintings, finding similarities in color and form. All of this artwork is punctuated with these iron pieces, metal pieces. Did he explain why he loved that so much?
He did. He says that the forms of the metalwork echo or underscore forms in the paintings themselves.
Perhaps proving that Barnes had a sense of humor, he placed this bare-bottom Renoir next to a similarly shaped piece of metalwork and above an ample chair. Despite the faithfulness to Barnes's ensembles, there are still plenty of people who believe the art should never have been moved from its original space.
It is a crime. And after all, it was Albert Barnes' art. He owned it. He could decide what to do with it.
But with the new building set to open next weekend, the Foundation's director insists that bringing the collection to Philadelphia is true to Barnes's desire to educate. Now more people can see the art more often.
Instead of coming once every 4 years, you can come 4 times a year. So you don't have to rush around it all and say, oh my God, how many Cézannes can I see in the next 45 minutes? You can say, I think I'll see these 6 Cézannes, and then I'll come back next week.